and welcome to Would You Rather with our very special guest, Erin Barron.
Hello.
This week, we're going to be discussing two very disturbing movies, The Menu and Midsommer. So click that thing, join us, say thummy thing, listen to the podcast. We look forward to being in touch more. Thank you. Erin, welcome to Would You Rather.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah. So Erin, you are actor, writer, producer, student. You got a lot of slashes going on.
Yes. Busy.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you now.
So we're doing an internship course and they wanted us to interview people in the industry that we kind of aspire to be. So I picked both of you because it's just kind of us practicing networking with people. So it's not for a formal project, but it was for an assignment. So I really appreciated the responses for that.
Oh, goodness gracious. Shoot higher. Shoot higher.
On that note, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you now.
Yeah, so I'm in my last semester at NYU Tisch School of the Arts. I have that very long major that a lot of Tisch students have. So I'm a drama major with a double minor in producing and BEMT, which is our business of entertainment, media, and technology. So I basically just always say I'm a film student to encompass everything because multi-hyphenate's thrown around everywhere, but that is what a lot of us do nowadays. So I'm interning at a talent agency at the moment for my last semester, kind of getting that hands-on grasp of what this industry is.
My goodness, it's amazing how many hyphens you have. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it should be noted that we know Erin because she participated in a reading for Legacy Breed at the drawing board. And so we're so grateful that you participated and it was so nice that we met. And Erin and I are both Filipina. So that's always good to meet a fellow Flip. Excited about that.
So let's talk about the Filipino and horror angle, Erin.
And it was a project called Manananggal that I worked on with a fellow student. And Manananggal, if anyone doesn't know, is a creature in Filipino folklore that feasts on the fetus of a Filipino woman while they're pregnant. It's really scary, really creepy. And we did a concept video for that. And after that, I was like, wow, Filipino heritage is so interesting, especially the mythology, that incorporating that Filipino heritage and horror is so easy, but why hasn't it been done? So I'm kind of hoping in the future to make that more mainstream and present these stories to the world because they're so fascinating and everyone needs to hear them. And I'm sure they're going to wow people, especially in the psychological thriller horror genre. These are amazing stories that need to be told. And I hope to be the person that can bring this to the world. Yeah.
Well, so interesting. When we talk about Would You Rather, I always share a news story. And I happened to, as I was thinking about Midsommer and kind of the weird rites of passage or whatever it is that might be happening outside of the US or outside of, kind of your normal experience. Of course, the one that I picked was from the Philippines because I knew you were going to be here, Erin. Yeah. So because we just happened past Easter. So in the Philippines, they still do live reenactments of the crucifixion for Easter, where people can volunteer to nail themselves to the cross. And after a pandemic break, they're back doing it. And so this guy did it, I guess, for the 34th time. I didn't watch. That's why I'm not even showing that little video clip.
These type of stuff probably is happening in the world where people have practices that are so deeply rooted in their ancestral history and have been passed on from generations, and they're not living in the modern world per se. And it's frightening that these things are happening, but these are these people's practices, and this is how they respect their elders in a sense.
It's a little bit annoyed, honestly, that they brought in all of these outsiders, and a number of the outsiders were people of color who ended up biting the dust, with yeah. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, do they think that nobody's going to come looking for these people? This is what I don't understand. I guess this rite of passage only happens every few decades or like 30 years, or, you know, they explained it in the beginning. Because I was thinking, you know, there are probably like 5 or 6 people that are going on this trip, and then they're just never going to come home, at least, like that. I don't know, like they lost me a little bit. I love Florence Pugh, so I was going to watch this movie, and it did get really, really good reviews, but I was kind of like, okay, who doesn't think that this is a bad idea? I mean, like going in the middle of nowhere for this special celebration. I'm just like, hello.
Did you see it on small screen or a big screen?
I saw it on a small screen. So
how about you, Erin?
Yeah, I saw it on a small screen, just my TV right behind me.
Yeah. No, it's cool. That's the way I saw the menu. I saw Midsommer in theater. And boy, it has like the sound and the effect, like just the visuals effect is unsettling. Like, you know, I like horror movies. We're here, you know, we have a whole series about horror flicks, right? I'm into it. Unsettling, like I never wanted to see that movie again, right? Especially when people are jumping off the cliff, like you know, hands over the eyes when they're hitting the ground and their legs are snapping. Caroline's point of, you know, they got to bring somebody in, and you know, it felt a little divisive that we got to get these new people in to show us this, right? Florence and her friends have to come to show us this. But ooh, I was disturbed all the way. It was an unsettling movie. And the director, of course, is good at making unsettling movies. So there's something there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was unsettling. I think if you had seen Wicker Man, and I don't mean the Nick Cage one, I mean the first one with the Equalizer. I ended up being the Equalizer. I found that movie very unsettling, and I found it similar to Midsommer. And having already seen that, I was like, oh boy, we know this is going to turn out badly, because I had seen that first one, and I kept thinking, gosh, if anyone in this movie had even seen that first one, they never would have gone on this terrible trip.
From moment one, you knew it was not going to go well. Cool. How about another article to talk about The Menu, a film that deeply annoyed me? We'll talk about why.
In the Resi, which is, you know, this like foodie publication, and it was all about this high concept restaurant where it's small. So they take 20 people and they're going to serve you family style. And so you introduce yourself to each other and you get to know each other, and you have to pay $195 for the you know, privilege of eating with a bunch of total strangers. It sounds like the most pretentious thing ever. And I was like, yeah, that's The Menu. That is totally The Menu. Nobody
Erin,
dies. Just full disclosure. No one dies
in the article. Good. No one dies.
Yes.
Good to know.
Good.
Erin, what'd you think of this flick?
This one was interesting. It's just, I think I was really uncovering like the meaning of it, because like I like being confused, but I think it speaks really highly about like how like people work their entire lives to like these like chefs to create these pieces that they're proud of, like this is their passion. But then like in the restaurant industry, these like high-end meals are only accessible to these people who don't even appreciate it. Like that one older married couple in the movie who had been there like over 12 times and pay like however many $1,000s to go to this island. And it speaks.
Couldn't remember a dish.
Yeah, exactly. And it speaks a lot to the service industry and how like the service industry workers are so underappreciated just to serve these like pretentious people who don't even appreciate like the creativity and the craft and the passion and love that goes into these meals that these chefs make. So I guess I was focusing more on like that element of it, as well as like the spookiness, of course, as the movie progressed.
Do you ever wait tables, Erin?
No, but I'm a barista. At like I worked at 3 different.
That counts.
That counts.
I worked at Blue Bottle Coffee in like a business building, so I definitely experienced serving specialty coffee and high-end pour over sourced from countries to these people who don't appreciate it or treat you in a certain way. And you definitely have to like keep your composure, and you definitely maybe create these stories in your head being like, oh, if I oughta, oh, I oughta.
That the service person hating the rich people. I catered for a while, so I can relate to that. I just, the whole thing I thought was just
With what? What didn't you like about it? I can see
Yeah,
you're like pain. Yeah,
I saw the whole thing coming from the moment it started. I didn't read reviews or anything, or I avoid trailers for movies I really want to watch. So like, all I know is that a bunch of really actors that I really love, like Leguizamo, Ray, Ray Fiennes.
I love Hong Chow. I like
Hong
voted
Chow,
for her for the SAG Awards.
fantastic.
I love her so much.
Yeah. I thought it was just, I saw it all coming. Did you
see it all coming that he was
going
to kill?
Coming.
See, I had the exact opposite. Not that I thought that the movie was great, but I at least my initial guess was that, oh, it's some cannibal type thing. He's serving them a meal that's going to end up being, because that's the tip of, I was expecting that. I was not expecting necessarily that he was going to kill everybody. I think what was disturbing about the movie, at least with Midsommer, it's like they're in the middle of nowhere. There's going to be no cell service. It's hard to get away. Now, granted, they're on an island here in the menu, but they didn't even really make any sort of effort. It was the most pathetic group of people, and like unreasonably pathetic.
Ralph Fiennes had a line where he said, you all didn't even try that hard to get away.
Yeah.
What does that say? And I was like, yeah. What does that say?
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing too was the one of the people in the us versus them, one of the people in the them was the intern who just didn't have student loans. And I was like, what?
But that was the only line of the movie that I really liked. Like,
and he was like, you have to die because you don't have student loans.
She asked her, you went to Brown? Student loans? No. You have to die. That was the only moment also that I actually laughed at. I think I was supposed to laugh at this movie the way that I laugh at violence in John Wick. I think I was supposed to find this all humorously interesting, and I found it not funny, so then I got to take it seriously with Ralph Fiennes getting stabbed in the balls and then still walking around. All of it was just
What gets them to that state, or just like, how do y'all interpret this movie, or like what's its meaning, I guess?
Well, how do you interpret it? Now I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was interpreting it, like I said before, more focused on like the service industry is very underappreciated and people take advantage of people who are like people's passions. But I guess what I was kind of confused about, and like what I want both of you's opinion on, is like, what makes like all the other like the chefs that are like, yes, chef, like what makes them just as passionate as like Ralph Fiennes' character to like want to die collectively? Or like, I guess that's what I was kind of confused about, is like, how did he convince everyone to be part of this elaborate plan?
Yeah,
I thought, the one moment that sort of worked, or one of the only moments that worked, was the female chef that sat down at the table with them after she stabbed Ralph in the nuts, and she was a mess. She was an emotional mess, and you could see like, oh, okay, she is going to get together and have a suicide pact. I thought the woman who plays the wife, who's a very famous actress, who was drinking all the time and was drunk, she was a mess. Totally understood her being in the room. You see what I mean? Like, I understood the people who seemed off. Everybody else just seemed like a normal person. So I didn't, passionate or a jerk or whatever. I didn't know, am I supposed to laugh at them dying? Or am I supposed to cheer that they're dying? or am I supposed to feel that they're dying? And I felt none of that, except for like those two characters really were the only ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, they had the comic book, you know, kind of the VCs who were stealing from. It's not enough that they're just rich VC/hedge fund people. It's that they are actually stealing from people. You know, they established that with just the pita bread or whatever. This is the fake
Or
balance sheet.
the Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, and then you have-
The Panama
yeah.
Papers on Taco
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have like Midsommer, and he's like the actor that sells out, right? So there are these indications, and then the young foodie guy who can't cook. So they do drop these very quick. It's like if you could describe someone's problems in 10 seconds,
Right.
you know.
Ralph Fiennes says, you knew we were gonna die, and yet you didn't bring the other woman. You brought her. And you knew, and I was like, wait, that guy knew he was going to die? And Nicholas Holt's an excellent actor, fantastic actor. And I was like, what? I didn't see that anywhere. He's obviously a very disturbed human being. Didn't get it. Missed.
Yeah, he obviously wasn't afraid because he's so enamored of the Ralph Fiennes character. He's so like into the food. That's how I interpreted it. I mean, like I don't feel like there are 12 layers to this onion. Okay, this is a small.
Yeah.
This is a pearl
I'm into
onion.
James Cameron movies, but if James Cameron invited me to a set and said, "Come here, you get to watch me shoot for a day, and then we're all gonna die," I'm not going. I'm really into Cameron, really into James Cameron. Not going.
True.
Yeah,
Why is Nicholas Holt's character so like? Can he be that passionate about food, or is he like obsessed with like Ray Fiennes' character himself? Like, I don't know if he was like obsessed with like good food and that's why he was willing to die for it, or if he was like obsessed with like the element of the chef, like he wants to be the chef, or like I don't know what his like motive was, I guess, to be okay with just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna have some good food, then like I'm gonna be fine with collectively dying in this. Like,
maybe Caroline, like Erin and I are trained actors, so we're looking for the motivation. We're looking for all that. Maybe that's why this is easier for you.
I mean, like to me, I thought, okay, it is just the stereotypical foodie guy that is so enamored to be, you know, kind of at the front of the line for the next great thing, and probably has a huge like boy crush on the Ralph Fiennes character, and you know that he kind of blocks out the rest of it. And I think it is very telling that he then exchanges his dinner partner, right, for the
Boston hookup.
Yeah, the sex worker, right, who's like interchangeable, the service worker, right, who's interchangeable. And I think that was also a part of the linchpin, again, of a pearl onion of a movie. I mean, this is not, let's peel back all of the layers. I thought this was a pretty straightforward movie, but I think they're both very similar, Midsommer and this one, in the sense that it's like you get this luxe experience. Ooh, we're going to go on this like trip, or we're going to go on this dining experience that turns out very bad.
Right. And it's the outsiders coming into an event that is already set up, that has been long set up, right? They're walking into an awful situation that they did not know, except for Nicholas Hoult, did not know was going to happen, right? You know, of those two movies, I much more, though, like I said, it really upset me. I found Midsommer a much more effective movie to me. Yeah. Why don't we go to the Bechdel scale? Erin, this is a test we always give movies. Do two women, the Bechdel test is, do two women have an intelligent, deep conversation that is not about a man in the movie? Do we have that in these movies anywhere?
I feel like the fight scene with Hong Chow and Anya Choi, you know, that definitely counts. And I feel like there is in a sense in Midsummer less conversation and more just action. It's just not it's not revolving around romance, neither of these movies, for obvious reasons. So and strong drawn out women characters, I feel like they would both pass for that.
Yeah, I don't know. The Florence Pugh character, her main problem with the guy who's there is he's stealing ideas, right? And a lot of her conversations with the other women are around that. But you're right. There's so much action that goes on that is not involving him or about him. I think Midsummer would pass. What do you think, Erin?
Yeah, I mean, I think both movies do present like female characters who are somewhat like trying to change themselves or like are trying to be more career, like focused either on their career or trying to like better themselves. I don't think like romance is like a major player, but I do think in Midsummer, it's like one of them, because like a lot of her issues, especially when she was in like the village, was like her partner, like she was like fearing her partner was going to be unfaithful, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and that he was a lying sack of shit, right? That he was stealing ideas.
Yeah, but it didn't prevent her from participating and in fact kicking ass at the dance contest.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And like by the end, she like completely disregarded the man, and
Yes,
like even though it was disturbing, she made a choice for herself and like made the wise decision, in my opinion, to like choose her partner to be the one who was sacrificed in the end.
Yeah, you get that bear. You get some bear. Yeah. All right. So we'll give Midsummer a yes and the Menu a maybe. I still am a maybe.
No, the Menu is an absolute 100%. What are you talking about?
All right. You're the woman, so I'm going to defer to you on the Bechdel test.
Characters there. The Hong Chow character, it's not even a gendered character. That could have totally been played by a man. She was just a kick-ass deputy, deputy chef. And at the end of the day, the only person left standing is the woman who figured out how to get out of there, which I thought was interesting and clever.
Yeah, definitely when I think back on it, like it was the women who were the most strategic, and like the men, and especially in the Menu, were the ones who had to get chased, who are the ones who don't know how to be strategic and how to escape. Like Anya Taylor-Joy's character knew how to escape simply by finding a picture and requesting a burger, which I'm still confused about how that worked with Ralph Fiennes' character. But, the women they held the power in the movies, which I really appreciate, and is definitely something that like, I guess made me like both of these movies more.
Cool. Next question we always ask, were there Black or Asian people in the movies? Definitely a whole lot of Asian and a little bit of Black.
Yeah, both of the movies I thought were, and you had like Leguizamo and the narco guy, like you said, in the Menu.
Right.
I thought the Menu did a great job because I felt like John Leguizamo wasn't playing a famous Hispanic celebrity. He was playing a celebrity. He was playing a A-list celebrity who was past his prime. And again, Hong Chow was playing a non-gendered, non-Asian role. She was just playing a deputy, who's very loyal to the Ralph Fiennes character.
I didn't forget the barrel.
Versus Midsummer. Don't get me started again with all of the actors of color biting the dust. I mean, it was just, and if they're going to bring people from the outside, really, like their handlers wouldn't have chosen like blonde, blue-eyed people. They're trying to, shore up their own community. So why are they bringing in all of these outsiders that are going to get killed?
Maybe they were being modern and they thought maybe, hey, we're keeping up with the times. The gods got to eat, but maybe we'll give them something else. No, doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, Midsummer did give me like a little irritation in terms of like the outsiders they brought to sacrifice for this, simply because like the community was all white, and then all the people who were sacrificed were POC. And I think that's what I had an issue with. And I'm like, that could have been done a different way and still had like the same premise of the story kept in mind. But the menu definitely did a better job in like presenting POC characters as like independent beings, had like fully fleshed out and were like Hung Chau like had the powerful woman status and wasn't like connected to race or like her gender.
Yeah, I feel like if the Florence Pugh character, if she switched out with the other South Asian lady who just went off and died. I mean, they had a real opportunity in the dance contest. It would be like Midsommer meets RRR. They could have had like a not to type dance competition. Now we go, let's bring some Bollywood into this weird Swedish village.
That would be incredible.
That'd be awesome. Awesome.
Next movie.
Yeah. Midsommer 2. 90 years later.
Years later.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have done our basic categories, so it's time to come to the question of the day, the most important question, and we'll start with our guest, Erin.
What was that, Chen Chen? Oh, she's asking if you could please subscribe and like this video. Thank you.
Erin Barron, would you rather be in the world of Midsommer or the world of the menu? Obviously, as somebody who comes into these screwed up world, not as one of the worldies.
I definitely 100% rather be in the menu in terms of like the situation, especially like, I feel like as a woman in that situation, I can be strategic enough to figure out a way to get out of that. I'm pretty sure I can figure out. So I definitely will feel
You'd
more
ask for the cheeseburger? You'd know to ask for the cheeseburger?
I think I could be like play like detective and figure out like how to get on the good side of the chef. So I think I have a strong chance of surviving in the menu more so than Midsommer, which just kind of scares me endlessly.
Yeah, okay. Caroline, what do you think?
No, Bruce, you go. I want to hear what you have to say since you were such a bigger fan of Midsommer versus the menu.
Yeah, so Midsommer is just a little too disturbing, right? I'd walk in, I'd be totally unmoored. I wouldn't know what the hell is going on. And I just know I'd get killed. Like I would be the black guy who got killed, right? So I know that about me. So I choose the menu. I got to tell you, though, I'm going out in a different way in the menu. I don't want to sound like Mark Wahlberg or something, but like you're going to have to take me out with a hammer to the head, getting in a boat or something. I'm not sitting in that room just calmly taking it. I don't understand.
Putting on the marshmallow costume and posing as fondue. Yeah.
Everybody accepted being burnt to death. I'm not going out like that. You know what I mean? Unless somebody drugs me. There was another thing I thought, is there something in the food that I'm going to find out that they've all been drugged? So definitely I'll take the menu. Not that I think I would make it out of there any better than I would in Midsommer, but I just know I have no chance with Midsommer. It's a matter of, especially if I see somebody jump off a cliff, that's it. I'm done. Like, yeah, I'm done. I know that this is it for me. I'm going to run into the woods and a bear's going to eat me, whether it's a human bear, a god bear, this bear, that bear. I'm going to get sewn in a costume and screwed up. I know I am. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I have to say, the menu is clearly the easier environment because it's a contemporary environment versus Midsommer takes you like really back into this village where you're miles and miles and miles from civilization and there's no cell service. Although if you really think about it, in Midsommer, if you just ingratiate yourself a little bit with the community, it buys you like 30 years. And so you then figure, can I learn how to hotwire the one pickup truck and drive out of there? You know, as soon as all the festivities have passed, you know, can I win the dance competition and let the festivities pass and then learn how to hotwire the pickup truck? Like the escape hatch, I feel like there's more time versus the menu. You had like 2 hours to figure out what was going on. It's an island. I happen not to swim. So I feel like in some ways my chances would be better in Midsommer, but I would be so frightened, I feel like, because of what was going on. that I might just, just throw myself into the fire to be like, hey, I'm done.
The thing about Midsummer, though, is there's a competition, right? So you're banking on yourself to win, to be the one to join the community, because not everybody gets to join the community, is my understanding. Am I misunderstanding the film? Right? They're only taking one. So you think like you're going to be the one? I mean, I have great faith in you, Caroline, but
Yeah, but that's just it. It's like, do I have more faith that I can win a dance competition or swim myself off an island? If I have to be realistic, knowing that I can't swim, I at least maybe. And I actually don't, I mean, did they say that they're only taking one outsider? My sense of that community is like, if you assimilate, and I feel like I might be good at that. I might be able to just be like, here, let me serve the WYR food. Let me be like super, super friendly and I'm not going to pee on a tree. You know what I mean? Like some of those people were just so stupid.
oh yeah,
right?
no.
Like once you knew how whacked up that neighborhood was, like, why would you ever separate from anybody? That South Asian engaged couple, it's like, join at the hip. And like, why would you ever separate? I mean, anyway, don't even get me started. Again, these aren't that deep. So I'm done.
No, I agree. I feel like it'd be more, as long as you're like not you're not problematic in the community. I feel like, because that's why Florence Pugh was able to survive. She was just like not being problematic, and she was just like taking in everything the community was giving her. So I feel like we can all blend in long enough, I suppose, and just like don't do anything and then try to figure out a way to escape, I guess, would be another strategy to survive in the world of Midsummer.
Yeah, it'd be like it'd be super easy for Asian people. It's like deferential, assimilating, respectful to the elders and old traditions. What is that?
Yeah,
That's us.
that's what we do growing up.
Yeah, it's like, okay. So I can do that, even if it's a Swedish village or wherever they are. I mean, that's going to be bad for tourism there. Now I don't even want to go there.
Me neither. You ever seen The Ritual? Fantastic film. That's another Swedish woods movie. That's
I didn't
yeah,
realize that was like a Swedish. Well, I did see that
Sweden.
movie.
Sweden.
Oh.
Yeah, fantastic film. Love that movie. Love that movie. Yeah, Swedish woods. Don't go. Don't go.
Yeah.
Noted.
All right, duly noted. So we, I think Erin and I are going to take the contemporary menu, and Caroline is going to dance her way to the pickup truck. Over 30 years, she got 30 years to find a way out of that village. Okay, cool. All right. Wonderful. Let's close it out with any updates on Florida Man that we're allowed to talk about at this point. How's Florida these days, Caroline?
Yeah, well, Florida is interesting. I mean, you've got, did you hear about the alligator who a guy hears a knock on his door, opens it, it's an alligator, bites him in the leg. That is a true Florida story.
Wait.
So, yes.
The alligator knocked?
He hears a knock on the door. I think it was the alligator's nose probably bumping up against the door. I don't think the alligator.
But did he do it fast? Like
Yeah.
propped himself on the door. Here we are. So I didn't lie. A Florida man heard a bump at his door, alligator, and it bit his leg. This is CNN, folks. This is not made up stuff. That's Florida.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot. And I'm sure there'll still be more. Don't get me started. But I still do love it. No taxes and lots of beach. That should be our slogan, really.
I think it is, actually, Erin, where are you from before New York? Or are you New York?
I am a California girl through and through. I do miss it, but New York is really fun for the moment. So I'm going to stay a little longer. Beautiful.
California had the hot tub couple. Did you hear about this? They're in their hot tub and a mountain lion comes and joins them. There's that.
Did all three of them make it out of the hot tub?
Well, the mountain lion just tapped the guy in the head.
Erin, any last words? Anything that you're going to be working on? What's the next project? Do you have it? I mean, you're graduating, so I'm not pushing anything on you.
Yeah.
But what can we shamelessly plug about you?
Well, I mean, look out. I'm hoping to, finish or like work more on a little short film / feature film regarding Filipino mythology and the horror psychological thrill genre. I definitely want to make sure that I stay in touch with collaborators to help that come to life, because right now it's just a concept, but it's definitely an idea. Yes, it's definitely an idea that I hope can be shared with the public. A theatrical release would be completely ideal, but I'm taking it one day at a time. And honestly, like taking part in the reading in January really inspired me to just keep going. Like art is a process, which is so annoying to hear all the time. We've heard it from so many professors, but it is true. It's like a process, and we'll look out for it one day. We'll see.
I'm betting on you, Erin, and I hope we get to work together again soon. Yeah.
Yes,
thank
me
you very
too. Count
Yeah.
us in. Count us in.
Of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Erin, for being our guest on Would You Rather. This has been a fun episode, and we look forward to working with you and seeing you again soon.
Thank you. I look forward to it.